Ever curious about what goes through a man's mind when he encounters a Sigma female? Those who effortlessly grab attention in any setting, those who don't just follow others, but lead with a gentle yet firm confidence? Today, we're going to reveal some secrets men usually keep about women like you. And believe it or not, some of these revelations might shock you. Let's get started. But first, let's define a Sigma female. She's independent, confident, and doesn't rely on anyone else to affirm her value. While many conform to standard roles, a Sigma female carves her own unique path, and that's where her enchantment and allure really start. Did you know that Sigma females often shift men's perspectives on traditional relationships? Your understated strength changes the usual narrative. Instead of the expected damsel in need of rescue, they encounter a sovereign who rules her own realm. This is empowering, yet it makes them rethink all they thought they understood. Now, let's explore the first thing men secretly think but seldom express. Number 1. I respect her self-sufficiency, yet it unsettles me. Your independence is impressive. It shows not just in how you manage things alone, but in the assurance you carry yourself with. For many men, this kind of self-reliance is attractive. They are drawn to it because it's unique, motivating, and frankly, refreshing. You don't depend on anyone to feel good about yourself, nor do you need others to make your life complete. You build your own dreams, steer your own journey, and that's a strong vibe to be around. But let's face it, this same independence that makes you appealing can also make men wary. Why? Because it makes them rethink their role in your life. Men often feel they need to be the protector or the provider for the women they care about. This isn't always something they think about deliberately. It's a role that society has traditionally expected of them. So, when a woman like you, who we might call a Sigma female, comes into their life, comfortable in her own skin and managing her life expertly, it can unsettle them. They might start to wonder, does she even need me? If not, what part do I play in her life? This can bring up feelings of insecurity that they might not openly discuss. Instead of being inspired by your independence, some might feel they fall short, as if they can't match your level of strength. It's not that they don't respect it. They definitely do. But it can also highlight parts of their life where they feel weaker or less sure of themselves. It's like showing them their own weak spots, and that can be tough for anyone to handle. However, your independence also challenges them in the best way. It quietly signals to them, if you want to be part of my life, you need to offer more than just a charming front. That's a hard ask for some, but it's precisely why you attract men who are really ready to grow. Being with you isn't about being needed. It's about being wanted, and understanding that difference shows emotional maturity. Here's what's wonderful about your independence. It encourages men to step up. Those who are up for the challenge will see you as a teammate, not a rival. They'll respect your strength and find ways to support you without trying to dim your light. The ones who aren't right for you might leave, but the right ones will meet your standards. Not because you force them to, but because being around you makes them want to improve themselves. So yes, your independence might scare some men, but it also helps sort out the boys from the men who truly deserve to be with a Sigma female like you. Stay unashamedly strong, because your independence isn't just praiseworthy, it's transformative. Question for you. Have you ever noticed that your independence makes others uneasy? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Number 2. Why do I keep thinking about her? There's something special about you, a Sigma female, that sticks with someone long after you've left. It's more than just being there. It's the vibe you carry with you. Men often catch themselves thinking about you unexpectedly. remembering conversations or little things about you. They wonder, what is it about her that makes her so memorable? Here's why. It's your calm confidence. You don't need to be loud or showy to get noticed. Instead, you let your genuine energy and authenticity shine through. This kind of confidence is uncommon, and it makes you stand out from others. It's not about impressing people or looking for approval. It's about knowing yourself and being proud of who you are. This kind of self-belief leaves a lasting impact. But there's more to it than just confidence. It's also your sense of mystery that keeps people, especially men, captivated. You don't reveal everything about yourself right away. You keep some things to yourself, which makes others curious, and sometimes even a bit obsessed with figuring out what you're thinking. Men often try to solve the mystery of who you are, not because you're playing games or acting elusive. It's just that you don't feel the need to explain everything about yourself. You prefer to let your actions, values, and the way you carry yourself speak for you. One big reason you stay on their minds is because you're genuine. In a world where many try to conform or chase the latest styles, you're bold enough to just be yourself. It's not the polished, perfect for Instagram kind of genuine. It's the real kind. You show up as you are, imperfections and all, without any faking. This is very refreshing for men because it's not what they're used to. With you, they don't feel like they're dealing with a facade or trying to figure out someone who's just pretending. You're authentic, and that's quite rare. What's even more fascinating is that you're not even trying to make a mark. You aren't looking for attention or approval. You're simply being yourself, living life your way, and that's why you catch their eye. Men keep wondering how someone so distinct can exist, and why they can't stop thinking about you. Your realness, quiet strength, and a bit of mystery all come together to make a memorable impact. You're not someone they meet and just forget. You're the type of woman who changes how they see others, and sometimes even how they see themselves. So when men find themselves thinking, "Why can't I stop thinking about her?" the answer is clear. You're unforgettable because you truly embrace who you are. Number 3. She's beyond my reach, but I hesitate to acknowledge it. You have a special way about you, a certain kind of charm that stands out right away. You're like a Sigma female, quietly confident and naturally graceful. You don't need to brag or seek attention. Your presence alone does all the talking. Men pick up on this almost immediately, though they might not say it out loud, not even to themselves. Deep inside, some may feel you're too much for them, but they hide these feelings with bold acts, humor, or by staying away. They find it simpler to act tough than to admit they're a bit scared by how impressive you are. This isn't just about how you look, your social standing, or what you own. It's about how you conduct yourself. You enter a room full of confidence, as if to say, "I know my value, and I don't need someone else to confirm it." This kind of confidence makes you stand out, and men notice it instantly. It's not about being arrogant, it's about being aware of who you are. You don't rely on others to feel complete, which is a rare quality. It's a powerful and attractive trait, and yes, it can be somewhat daunting. When a man meets someone like you, he might feel a whirlwind of emotions. He is attracted to you because your vibe is genuinely admirable, but at the same time, it makes him question himself. He thinks, "Am I worthy of her? What do I have that she doesn't already possess?" For many men, these thoughts are uncomfortable. They're used to being in charge and impressing others easily. But around you, things are different. You're not swayed by just charm or superficial acts. If someone wants to be part of your life, they need to be genuine and meaningful. What's even more fascinating is that you aren't trying to make others feel a certain way. You're not playing games or acting superior. You're just being yourself, genuine and true to your own values. You don't chase after others or seek out their attention because it's not necessary. You understand that the right people will be drawn to you, while those who can't handle your vibe will naturally drift away. This approach not only distinguishes you, but also sets a higher standard for anyone who wishes to be part of your life. Here's where the wonder unfolds. While some men might find your strong presence too much and quietly step back, others are motivated to meet your level. You don't force them to change, but your very presence prompts personal growth. You demonstrate what it means to live with intention and confidence, and for the right man, that's incredibly inspiring. He won't see you as unattainable in a way that pushes him away. Rather, he'll view you as an inspiration to improve and be his best self. So, indeed, some men might secretly think you're too good for them, but that's not about you. It's about the high standards you represent just by being yourself. And honestly, those who can't rise to the occasion don't deserve to be with a strong woman like you anyway. Stay true to yourself and trust that the right people will recognize your value without feeling they have to compete for it. Number 4. Why can she read people so well? One of your standout traits as a Sigma female is how well you understand emotions. You don't show off this skill. It's naturally part of who you are. You have this special knack for noticing things that most people overlook. For many men, this quality is both incredibly interesting and slightly unsettling. Why? Because it seems like you can look right through them, directly at the thoughts and emotions they usually keep hidden. When you're with someone, you don't just hear their words. You observe everything: how their voice sounds, how their eyes move, how they pause when talking. You catch the little signs that reveal their true feelings, even when they try to cover them up. It's as if you have a sensor for what isn't said, and that's a unique and powerful ability. For men, this can be both a gift and a challenge. On one hand, it's liberating. They're used to having to explain themselves or hold back their feelings, because often society tells men not to show vulnerability. But with you, they don't need to say much. You just understand. They feel recognized and appreciated in ways they might not have before. It's soothing and comforting to be with someone who doesn't judge, but just gets it. However, this amazing skill of yours can also surprise them. Most people are used to hiding certain parts of themselves out of fear or habit. But when you pinpoint what they're feeling, even without them voicing it, they wonder, how does she know me so well? They might not say it aloud, but it can make them feel exposed, vulnerable, and a bit uneasy. Here's the key. Your talent for seeing through people isn't about making them uncomfortable. It comes from your empathy. You don't use your understanding of emotions to hurt. You use it to connect, to assist, and to empathize. However, not everyone is ready for such a deep connection. Some men might find your insight too intense because it makes them face feelings they've been avoiding. Others will treasure it greatly and consider it one of your most incredible traits. In essence, your ability to read people is what makes you memorable. It's not about uncovering their flaws. It's about showing them that it's okay to be open and genuine. The right people will see this as a blessing and value it, and those who don't? Well, they probably weren't meant to be close to a Sigma female anyway. So, continue to value your emotional intelligence. It's more than just a superpower. It's an essential part of who you are. It lets you bond deeply and make a lasting impression on those lucky enough to meet you. Have you ever had someone tell you that you make them feel understood? Share your experiences in the comments and stay tuned. There's more to learn just around the corner. Number 5. I wish to shield her, but she has no need for it. Many men grow up believing they should protect others, especially women, to guard them, stand up for them, and help them when life gets hard. This belief is deep-rooted, and many men see it as part of their identity. However, when a Sigma female comes into their lives, everything changes. Sigma females don't need someone to rescue them. They have already created their own protection and learned to fight their own battles. This kind of independence and strength is not only impressive, but it also makes men question how they fit into her life. Often, men feel the need to protect, not because they see you as weak, but because they care about you. It's their way of showing affection and commitment, and a means for them to feel they are adding value to your life. But with a Sigma female, it's clear. She manages on her own. She doesn't wait for someone else to take charge, because she's already in control. This confidence creates a quiet struggle within men. They feel torn between wanting to protect her from life's difficulties and recognizing that she doesn't need their protection. This situation becomes even more fascinating because a Sigma female doesn't outright refuse help or protection. She isn't dismissive. Instead, she shows immense strength that suggests, "I've got this, but thank you for caring." This sends a strong message, showing men that while she appreciates their support, she doesn't rely on it. It's not about excluding them. It's about showing them she is already self-sufficient. For some men, accepting this can be difficult as it goes against their traditional understanding of relationships. Yet, her independence also invites a more profound connection. Rather than concentrating on what they can do for her, it makes them consider what they can achieve together. They learn that being with a Sigma female isn't about the usual protector role. It's about being partners with someone who is already capable. This change can be eye-opening and motivating, pushing them to rethink what it means to be a partner. And it's important to remember, her strength doesn't mean she's without weakness. Men who grow close to her soon understand that she, too, experiences moments of vulnerability. However, instead of seeking protection, she looks for understanding and emotional connection. This is where they can find their role, not as a shield, but as a partner who genuinely understands and supports her. So, while some men may struggle with their instinct to protect, the right ones will see the bigger picture. They'll realize that she doesn't need rescuing. She needs someone who respects her strength and independence while being willing to share life's adventures together. And that's a role truly worth aspiring to. Number 6. Why doesn't she follow the usual ways? What's so fascinating about you as a Sigma female is that you don't follow the usual ways. Not because you like to rebel, but because you don't see the point in sticking to norms that don't match your true self. You avoid the usual games, pretenses, or shallow acts that many others think are necessary. You live truly, without excuses, and with a clear goal. This not only makes you appealing, but also puzzles some men. Many men are accustomed to a sort of hidden rulebook in relationships. They've met people who act in expected ways, flirting in a certain manner, replying to messages at expected times, or following the usual dating norms. But you don't bother with any of that. You don't flirt just to flirt, play hard to get, or say things just to please someone. You are simply yourself, and you make no excuses for it. For men, this unpredictability can be both irritating and highly appealing. Initially, they might not know how to connect with you. The usual tactics, witty chat, exaggerated praises, or sneaky games, don't work. That's because you can see through these strategies, and they don't impress you. You're not interested in superficial interactions or pretentious displays. Instead, You value honesty, depth, and genuineness. And while this may intimidate some men, it also attracts them like nothing else. Your refusal to conform doesn't just stop with relationships. You don't shape yourself to fit into typical roles or expectations, whether in your career, personal life, or how you show yourself to the world. You follow your own path. Men who are used to women who follow a certain script are left wondering, how does she do it? Why isn't she trying to fit in? The answer is simple. You're not here to live up to anyone else's standards. You are here to live your truth, and that's something they can't overlook. This unpredictability doesn't just puzzle men, it fascinates them. They find themselves attracted to the way you defy norms, challenge limits, and stay true to yourself no matter what. You're not scared to hold your own views, set your own rules, and live life your way. And while this might be new territory for some, it's also precisely what makes you memorable. Of course, your distinct style isn't for everyone. Some men might feel annoyed or even insecure because they can't label you or foresee a next step. But those who can move beyond their discomfort will discover something incredible. A woman who doesn't just break the mold, but refuses to be confined by one in the first place. So when men question why you don't follow the rules, the answer is straightforward. You've made your own. And for those who are ready to step into your world, that's the most thrilling invitation they could ever get. Number 7. She's a mystery I can't unravel. There's something really unique about you that makes you stand out and leaves people, especially guys, wondering. You keep some things to yourself, not because you're hiding anything or playing tricks, but because you cherish your privacy and your uniqueness. You've created a life that's all your own, and you don't feel the need to share every detail or explain every action. This mysterious vibe isn't something you do on purpose. It's just a part of who you are, and it naturally draws people to you. For guys, this sparks a curiosity that's hard to ignore. They are pulled towards you, eager to learn more, to figure out what drives you. You're like a captivating book with hidden depths and meanings. But the more they try to figure you out, the more they realize how complex and layered you really are. You're not someone who fits into a simple category or someone who's easily understood. And for guys who like things straightforward, this can be both exciting and a bit daunting. What adds to your mysterious allure is that you don't share everything all at once. You keep your thoughts, your plans, and your emotions close to your chest. This isn't because you're distant. It's because you understand the importance of personal boundaries and self-respect. You choose carefully who you let see the real you, and this selective sharing makes you even more intriguing. Guys might wonder, what's she thinking? What's her story? They may try to interpret your actions or decode your words, hoping to find out the real you. But the thing is, you're not a mystery that needs solving. You should be celebrated for your complexity and depth. Moreover, your mysteriousness isn't a facade. You're not pretending or keeping people away on purpose. You're simply being yourself. You don't feel the need to constantly justify yourself or seek approval from others. You're comfortable with who you are, and this confidence shows in everything you do. It's not often you meet someone who is so sure of themselves and so genuinely themselves, and that's what makes you so compelling. But let's face it, this enigmatic side of yours can also be a bit intimidating. Some guys might feel overwhelmed because they can't figure you out or anticipate your next move. They might ask themselves, why don't I get her like I do others? But the right ones will view this not as a barrier, but as something to cherish. They'll understand that your depth and mystery are what make you special, and instead of trying to decode you, they'll simply enjoy the chance to know you. What guys eventually realize is that your mystery isn't something to unravel. It's what keeps things exciting and fresh with you. You're not someone who will ever be completely understood, and that's great. Your complexity means there's always more to discover, more to appreciate, and more to love. So when guys say, "She's a puzzle I can't solve," they're both right and wrong. You're not a puzzle. They just haven't met someone like you before. You don't match their expectations or follow a predictable path, and that's what makes you unforgettable. You're here not to be figured out, but to be appreciated for the unique person you are. And for those who understand this, that's more than enough. Number 8. She inspires me to improve. Here's a simple truth. You encourage growth in everyone around you, especially men. This isn't because you demand it or say it out loud, but because of how you conduct your life. Your high standards, unwavering self-identity, and continuous quest for being genuine naturally prompt those around you to examine their own lives. For men, this can be inspiring yet incredibly grounding. You don't have to preach or criticize anyone's choices to make a point. Just by being who you are, you set an example that says a lot. Men observe your independence, your clear goals, and your unwillingness to settle for less than you deserve, and it sparks something within them. It's not about feeling intimidated, it's about realization. They start to wonder quietly, am I fulfilling my potential? Would she respect and value the kind of person I am? You stand out because you don't attempt to fix or change others. You don't believe in shaping someone to match an ideal vision, which makes you unique. You allow people to be themselves, yet your very presence motivates them to aim higher. Men feel that to be by your side, they must be their best selves. Not because you expect it, but because they understand you wouldn't have it any other way. Your impact goes beyond personal relationships. It extends to every part of their lives, including their careers, personal aspirations, and emotional growth. You inspire men to pause and rethink their direction. You make them want to improve, not just for you, but for themselves. They see your confidence and strength and recognize that they too can achieve more. What's amazing is how you manage this without dramatic actions or direct meddling. Your living example suffices. You demonstrate what can be achieved when someone is dedicated to their own development and boldly chases their dreams. You show that staying true to oneself is the best way to find satisfaction, and this lesson makes a lasting impression. However, not every man will accept this challenge. Some might find it too hard to face their flaws or make the necessary changes to grow. They might feel overwhelmed or not good enough when faced with your quiet strength, and that's perfectly fine, because you're not here to diminish your standards or diminish yourself to make others feel at ease. Men who truly appreciate you see this as a chance to grow with someone who inspires them daily. The most remarkable thing about you is that you don't just encourage men to improve for you. You inspire them to become better for their own sake. This influence is what lasts and truly transforms lives. Deep down, they recognize that meeting you marked a pivotal moment. You're more than just someone they look up to. You're someone who drives them to realize their full potential. Number 9. She doesn't wait for permission to act. The Sigma female is a standout figure in any setting due to her unmistakable autonomy and initiative. Unlike many who may hesitate, waiting for cues or permissions from others before making a move, she's driven by an internal compass that guides her actions with precision and purpose. This attribute is not just about making decisions quickly. It's about a deep-seated confidence in her ability to discern the right course of action and her refusal to be swayed by external opinions unless they align with her own values and insights. For men, this characteristic can be both awe-inspiring and disconcerting. They are often taken aback by her capability to act independently, which challenges the conventional dynamics where men are seen as the primary decision-makers. This shift in dynamics can lead to a sense of uncertainty about where they stand or how they can contribute to a relationship where the woman does not fit into the traditional mold of being guided or led. Moreover, a Sigma female's decisiveness often means that she's a few steps ahead, anticipating outcomes and preparing for them without needing reassurance. Her actions speak volumes about her leadership qualities and her complete comfort with taking charge of her life and her surroundings. For a man, understanding and adapting to this dynamic requires a reassessment of his own roles and contributions. It necessitates a shift from leading to partnering, where both individuals engage equally in steering the direction of their joint endeavors. Number 10. She challenges me to open up about my feelings. Interacting with a Sigma female can be a transformative experience for men, particularly in how they handle emotional expression. Society often imposes a stringent code on men to hide their emotions, to uphold a facade of toughness. A Sigma female disrupts this facade. She does not settle for superficial emotional exchanges. Instead, she digs deeper, seeking a genuine understanding and connection. This approach can be particularly challenging for men who are not accustomed to articulating or confronting their inner emotional landscape. The Sigma female's expectation for emotional depth acts as a catalyst for men to explore parts of themselves that they might have neglected or suppressed. She creates a safe and accepting environment that encourages vulnerability and honesty. This isn't done in a confrontational manner, but rather through a genuine curiosity and respect for authenticity. Her comfort with emotions and her empathetic listening skills make it easier for men to open up, often leading them to discover a new level of emotional intimacy and self-understanding that enriches their lives profoundly. However, this demand for emotional honesty can also be intimidating. It requires men to strip away the protective layers they've built and to expose parts of themselves that they may view as weaknesses. For some, this is a daunting prospect that can lead to resistance or discomfort. But for those who embrace this challenge, the rewards are substantial. They find that being emotionally open not only enhances their relationships, but also contributes to their personal growth and emotional health. They learn that true strength lies in vulnerability, and that by embracing it, they can forge deeper, more meaningful connections. When men think about what it means to know you, one thought stays with them. She makes me want to be better. That's a memory that sticks with them. Sigma females are powerful. You defy expectations, encourage growth, and make a deep impression wherever you are. Even if men don't always say these things, their actions shout it. Thanks for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more. I'll see you in the next video. Click on the top right to see more videos like these to transform yourself in 2025. As always, until next time.